What's going on, everyone? It is the Lower Mid Card Podcast. I'm Kyle Driver.
And I am Grind. And that was so much better than episode one.
Listen, sometimes you gotta, shake off the cobwebs and stuff.
Yeah, we're both professionals here. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
What a weekend!
What a crazy weekend it was.
Just action-packed, just wrestling.
Now, here's the big question. Did you get up at, well, I don't know what time, it was 11 a.m. for you?
It was, it started at 1 for me.
Oh, 1 for you. It was 9 a.m. for your boy here. 9 a.m.
Hey, that's dedication, man.
Yeah, dude. On a Saturday. It's not the most appealing time to be watching that wrestling, you know.
But if you're gonna wake up early to do anything, wouldn't you rather it be wrestling?
It totally, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
It was like going to the movies, and I had my popcorn, and I was ready, dude. I had my blanket. Yeah. I was just sucked into it, and my God, what a card! I mean,
just both.
It was insane.
Both of them were good. Yeah, you said something. So you said popcorn and
your blanket.
Ready for the movie. So I actually
bring a blanket. Do you bring a blanket to the movie theaters?
It depends.
Yeah.
I've like with how most theaters are now with like the recliner seats and stuff. Yeah, you gotta be comfy. But you bring up movie theaters. I actually had a handful of my buddies go to a local theater here that was showing Double or Nothing.
What?
So they were literally popcorning it up.
Oh, dude,
watching wrestling in a theater with a bunch of other wrestling fans.
Oh, dude, I wonder how wild that got. You know,
I've been to them before, and they get pretty nuts. Like they do the chants too. It's a party.
I went for a UFC event, and it was kind of dead. And there was that one guy who was like in the back who was like applauding, standing up, like, get him!
Grab his dick and twist it!
The entire time, I'm just sitting there, like quietly. I'm like, oh shit, but like this guy in the back is like, it's almost like he's got $100,000 on the line, like
he's his marriage is on the line.
Yeah,
he pulled out a second mortgage on this fight.
It was
There's
so good.
So many. There's so
good.
Much.
I went one time and it haven't gone since, dude. It was maybe I'll have to start going, man. I don't know if they do them around here, but we have a bunch of like IMAX theaters and whatnot, so I'm assuming they have to. I just don't
have to.
Yeah.
I would look into it. Do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I definitely plan on doing it in the future because let me tell you what, AEW's got to get in with a streaming service because doing the back channels with like Fight TV and the Bleacher Report app, like I had to go through the Chromecast and like cast it from my computer. I was like, man, this is not the best viewing experience.
Hey, listen, all I gotta say is we'll talk off podcast about making it a little easier for you in the future. But yeah,
totally legal, folks.
Totally legal.
Totally legal.
As you can tell, we are die hard. We pay that $70 per pay-per-view.
I 100% paid for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll support.
But not just that, but man, thank God for Peacock, right? Like,
God,
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, Peacock has just made life so easy when it comes to pro wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, even the WWE app when they were actually using that before they made the deal with like Fox and all them.
Yeah.
Like it was just having a dedicated streaming service for it is just, it's
amazing.
Modes better.
1000%.
So yeah, AEW needs to get like on the TNT app or something like that for pay-per-views and shit. They'll work something out. Tony Khan, work on it, buddy.
All right. Well, with that being said, dude, we got a lot of matches to talk about.
Let's do it.
So let's start with Saturday, man. WWE Night of Champions. It was actually Morning of Champions for me.
Morning of Champions for us here in the States.
Yeah. Let's get it started.
Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight title.
I questioned, my first thought was, whoa, they're starting this card off on such a high note. Mm-hmm. It can only go down from here. And with, we talked about it last week, Saudi cards have had, a history of being bad. It was everything I thought it would be in that match.
with them two, you
What do you
you
expect?
wouldn't expect anything less.
less.
Yeah, like just it was a clinic. I mean, just you
Yeah.
had to steal from Michael Cole. It was a clinic. It was just a instant classic match.
It was phenomenal.
I see what you did there.
Vintage.
Yeah, you see what I did there? But
Oh yeah.
with Seth winning, man, I think we had said last week, it's like it only makes sense. It's the right guy to go to. He's not only willing to put the time in, but he's willing to be that guy and carry that linear legacy. Last week we didn't really talk about that the heavyweight title got announced that it was going to carry the linear history from Randy Orton. And props to AJ Styles for fucking going out there, putting on a top tier show, and just doing the damn thing the way it should be done. My biggest takeaway from it was, what do you do with AJ Styles moving forward?
Right. I mean, listen, he's got a solid group, with the OC, with Carl Anderson, and I can't think of his name right now. I'm blanking.
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows. Yeah. I mean, they got a stable. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with stable. You can throw anything. But you mentioned something that kind of made my ear hairs stand up. Was that you said the linear legacy, right?
Yeah.
Of that title, and Randy Orton, who was the last one to hold before Seth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That opens the door if
crazy,
he
right?
comes back. Yeah. So I mean, you can see it there, and it's like a fever dream if it happens. So.
Oh my god, it would be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trish Stratus defeats Becky Lynch.
Something about Trish Stratus coming out in a wetsuit. I mean, it literally looked like I was like, oh, she doing deep sea diving? Like literally, I was like, oh, dude.
It was probably like, it looks like almost like something that they had to like put together like really quick because
last
she
idea,
probably like forgot. Like they're like, dude, you can't go out there with that.
Best part is it said "Thank you, Trish" on the back, dude. It had
and they're like, well, we got this.
Yeah.
So if you want
nothing
like,
on the front, no bedazzled anything, right? I was like, oh, she's wearing a wetsuit out to this event right now, right?
Well,
and then
it's hard to top the Kill Bill outfit that Becky was rocking.
Oh, it was night and day.
It was night and day.
Night and day. The worst part is like Becky's outfit had like a bunch of little patches on it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it looked good. I thought it was great with the orange hair. Very fiery, dude. There wasn't really anything on the line other than the fact of pride. And I kind of look at it as them kind of putting like the passing of the torch kind of a thing.
Sure.
Right. When I walked away from it, the Zoe Starks thing really just kind of showed like, oh, okay, well, you're introducing Zoe to the mainstream.
Yeah.
She is a crazy physique, by the way.
She is an incredible athlete.
Yeah. And gonna bring some massive issues to that women's roster.
Yeah, and that's kind of the takeaway that I had too. I thought it was a really good introduction for Zoe Starks. Like, she's obviously had a couple bumper matches, but like obviously, like as far as the type of matches that she can put on, which are high quality matches, Zoe Starks is just she's not new to the game, right? So definitely getting the spotlight and putting her, near the top of the women's division. I mean, even if she does play second fiddle to Trish for a little bit, I don't see that lasting long.
Yeah, no, this is I mean, Trish's way of passing the torch. And speaking of which, I didn't talk about this, and I thought this was the first thing I was going to talk about. How in the world did we get more blood in the first two matches than we did in all of AEW until the main event? That blew my mind. Night of Champions went hardcore.
Yeah.
Kind of great. And it was natural. I mean, we're not talking razor blades and Brock Lesnar running headfirst into a ring post. We're talking like you getting hurt, so that was
it was crazy. I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
It was like, whoa, especially Saudi. I don't know what their rules on it are, but dude, there were little kids running around the arena. Did you see that? See the Dude, they go to a wide shot and you see this kid, he's doing like a lap around the arena. And I'm like, what in the world is happening there, man? It looked like a circus, dude. Like a straight circus.
The next match on that card, though, was I thought it was better than what I was expecting. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali, with Gunther retaining the Intercontinental title.
My take last week was I wanted Ali, and I created this great case of why I thought he should be the guy to take it, right? And sure as shit, I was wrong, dude. And it hurt. It hurt so bad,
like,
dude.
God damn it!
Like,
I gotta talk to the guys.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta talk to the guys and
I gotta talk to the guys
and apologize.
No.
You know what's funny about the match is the match was favoring Ali. It was favoring him.
They were like the entire time you had commentary. They were completely building the doubt against, Mustafa Ali. Like they were totally building the story. It's like, he's such an underdog, blah blah. Like they were totally stacking it against him, which we've seen time and time again.
Yeah,
we know what happens at the end of that, but
it looked like, though, the way that he was staying even, like on an even foot with Gunther, that he was gonna win.
Right.
And the funny thing is I mean, you look at that match at, what was it? It was WrestleMania, right? It was Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther all in the same, and it was a chop fest. It literally, I mean, they were all just going to town. And here's little 5 foot
slappers slapping meat.
Yeah, here's little 5'5" Ali comes in, and he's literally going toe to toe with Gunther.
Yeah.
And they're not, I mean, listen, if it was any other place other than Saudi, it's a squash match. It was very pleasing, I think, to Saudi. If you're not going to give Saudi Ali winning the title, you at least give them a good show and get their hopes up.
And it was a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, like that match, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I was entertained the entirety of it. Like there wasn't like a lull moment where I was like, all right, are we gonna wrap this up? Let me just say, like, Mustafa knows how to sell a bump.
Oh yeah.
Like the dude can sell it. So I'm like, kudos to him. I mean, it was a great match.
I guess the question leaving this match is, what's next for Gunther? With the Intercontinental title, who would you give it to? I know Drew McIntyre is in the mix for potentially signing with a different promotion, or re-signing his contract. Put a title on McIntyre. He's over everywhere. Give him something to do.
We'll watch it.
I would totally watch McIntyre versus Gunther.
Yeah.
And I would like to see Gunther do other things. So
yeah. No, there's no road to who's going to be the next challenger for the straps, right?
Exactly.
We'll see, like you said. Yeah.
Asuka and Bianca Belair. Asuka defeated Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title.
I mean, Bianca is like controlling this match. It's almost over. And you see Asuka outside the ring, I believe, or right against the ropes, something along those lines. She spits the blue mist into her hand or puts it in her mouth, her hand in her mouth, or something along those lines. Gets in the torture rack position on top of Belair as Belair is about to finish her, and uses the mist in her eyes, like scrapes her eyes with the mist. And from what I remember, there's like one other move that Asuka does. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I just walked away like, damn. Like, we know the mist is powerful. We've seen what it's done.
By the wet willy, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, good for Asuka. What's weird about it is that is one of those few title reigns that we talked about that were just going on forever. It did need to come to an end. Bianca has proven time and time again she can be champion. Now it's time, in my opinion, for Bianca to reinvent herself and come back even stronger and maybe do something else. She can stay in that mix forever. But it would be cool to see Bianca expand on her character outside of what she's been doing.
It's unfortunate because they're both really good strong in-ring performers, but to me something felt off, right? Like watching the pacing of the matches from, the stuff that happens in between spots, it just something felt off. Like there just wasn't the flow there. That I know that those two can do. But the spots were cool. It's just nice for a little shakeup. I think the shakeup was needed at this point because things are starting to get stale with all these like record title runs. I think it's just the way that this was planned out was just way too many of those.
Yep.
For way too long, and it's just like when you don't have title changes, it's not exciting. It's boring.
I will say that Asuka, when we were talking about outfits, I normally despise Asuka's outfit. I don't like the thong over her wrestling suit. I think it bothers me every time I take it off. Like that's every time just like the nipple slips, dude. It's every time I see it, I'm like, take it the fuck off, dude. I hate it. I just can't stop looking at it the entire time. I don't know why, but it's just something where my eyes get drawn to. And so this time around, she didn't do that. And it's because she's in Saudi, and I thought she looked 10 times better. And she is one of the few people that can pull off a turtle. They were all wearing like turtlenecks, basically, like turtleneck all the way down. I thought her makeup and her suit was fucking rad. So kudos to Asuka because I normally hate her outfit.
The next match was Rhea Ripley and Natalya. Rhea Ripley defeated Natalya in a squash.
Like I watched that match and I was like, what the fuck? Did anyone else? Like I watched that. Like I literally like looked down at my phone for a second and then it was up. I'm like, the match is over?
They're like,
bro,
hey,
what?
They're like, hey, oh, we forgot you on the card. Hey, who's in the back that we can have wrestle Rhea right now? Oh, you? Okay. You're going to wrestle her.
Christ.
And dude, to me, best match on the card. I was like, oh, if this isn't a squash match, I don't know what is, dude.
Yeah,
it was so dominant. And if anybody gained anything from that, Dominic. So
dude,
good.
The only thing that I confirmed in that match is that Dom loves uppies.
Oh yeah,
like he wants uppies from mommy. So again, me too.
He's the most gangster beta male I've ever seen in my life, dude. And I love everything about it, and it keeps getting better, dude. I don't know. She was carrying him with the belt, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good,
fucking hilarious."
Yeah,
and we'll be touching base on this again.
Yeah,
here in a bit.
Yeah,
because there's more.
Yeah, there's more. Man. There's it in there, dude. It never ends. More.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
Yeah, it's so good. You know what? Rhea just proved once again. Is there anything better in pro wrestling right now in the women's division than Rhea? There isn't.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of behind the scenes. It's the kayfabe. It's the just in-ring athleticism. It's every aspect of what she's doing is the most superior in women's wrestling, in my opinion. So she
doesn't have a true opponent.
No, there's nobody close. There's nobody even close. I mean, you could say that Bianca, there's a good chance that her and Bianca probably at Mania 40. They kind of hinted at it already, like we'll see each other soon. I could see that happening. But other than that, man, I don't. And I like that match because Bianca is super athletic. But I mean, on the mic, dude, there's nobody even close. Rhea's in guys' faces night after night. She's standing toe to toe with like the bloodline, and
and I'm sitting there questioning my sexuality, and just I don't know, man.
And you're okay with it, 100% okay with it.
Yeah, I'm like
you're questioning, but not questioning it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Kyle's ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The next match, Grind's gonna love talking about. Brock Lesnar defeated Cody Rhodes.
I mean, do you want to say it one more time, Bobby, for the listeners?
No, I actually really don't.
Okay.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth just saying that.
Okay, let me say it for you. Brock Lesnar defeats Cody Rhodes. All right. It sounds so good. Now, here's the thing that between last podcast and this podcast, that happened that really made a big difference in this entire match. I believe it was Raw. Cody gets attacked by Lesnar. Lesnar throws a keg at his hand, dude. Breaks his hand. You guys are so not happy right now, and it's amazing. If you guys are watching on YouTube, this is amazing because I'm so happy and they're not, and I love it. But literally, Brock throws a keg at Cody, breaks his hand, and it then down the line, later that night, he ends up getting him in like a Kimura, like arm bar, and ends up officially breaking it, I guess. And yeah, and nobody really, air quotes, nobody really knows what's going on. Cody then decides, I'm gonna fight, and that was kind of my thought on this entire thing. Was Brock was using words weeks ago. I want to fight. Give me a fight. It was never a wrestling match. It was never intended, I don't think, to be a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And I think for them to bring more closure to that, they had to break his arm. Why they waited so long in the story to do that, I think you could have broke it early on and just stated that he wanted to fight. And what was funny was that I had people telling me, well, hold on a second. That cast they made mention was made out of titanium. They made it very clear to sneak that in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no fucking way you beat Brock Lesnar, who cuts down to 265, who is all muscle, is the most glorified champion in history of combat sports. There's no way this man gets beat by a one-armed Cody Rhodes in a fight, right? And I gave my prediction last week. Obviously, I'm a Brock Lesnar fan, a little biased. At the same time, I did think that there was not a whole lot of room for Cody to grow in this match. That was my prediction. And I still think this was the right thing to do. I think it didn't bury Cody. What it did is it gave Cody time off. Now, with that being said, they broke his arm, air quotes. There's no way he's coming back to Money in the Bank, in my opinion. Did I like the match? No. I actually really didn't like the match. I thought the first armbar Kimura should have been done. Yeah. I thought it should have been a dominant squash match.
They shot themselves in the foot with this match. It could have been so much better. I just thought the match was lame. I just did not enjoy it. Me personally, I'm over the whole, Cody being hurt before every pay-per-view match trope, whatever that is. That's got to be a dumb Vince decision. It's like, all right, Cody, if we're gonna sign your contract, you're gonna be hurt before every match. And all right, you're gonna have to be hurt, okay? Yeah. Like that's just that's what I assume the discussion between Cody and Vince was. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're fired. Yeah. I think it's stupid. Like that, almost every match that he's been in beforehand. He's been hurt. It's just like, it's a stupid thing, and I'm mad that they do it.
So, directionally, what is the WWE thinking?
I don't know. It's like, again, this is God damn it, Vince, stop.
Yeah. The last match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa.
So, okay, I think I loved the match. The wrestling was fine. But I think what made the match for me was the non-wrestling shit, like the drama that came along with it. I mean, Roman barely wrestled, Solo carried it, but that's been the MO, right? He's not a fighting champion. The best part of the match for me was the fucking Jimmy heel turn. That was fucking great. I was yelling. I was like, yes, damn it. And I was like, kick your brother, kick him in the face. And it didn't happen, but it was just like, I was so pumped. And I was just yelling. My dogs were like, why is Dad yelling? Yeah. But I was just, oh my God, it was so great. I loved that. I think it was a great finish. And it's just, if anything, it like, oh man.
Side note to this match, Saturday's match literally marked the first time Reigns had lost in a main event since WrestleMania 34 in 2018, which means his streak lasted nearly 1,900 days and included 46 pay-per-view wins. 46 pay-per-view wins, 1,900 days. He had never lost. With that being said, it's time. When it came to, the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn winning the match, it was really cool seeing the WWE believe in Kevin and Sami, because I had laid out this massive idea of how it, it could turn the bloodline against each other, and the titles meant so much more and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the fact that WWE believes in Sami and Kevin and holding those belts has only been like 2 months. It's okay.
Yeah, it's we're fine.
Yeah. And so with the bloodline losing and the way that they lost, oh my God. It was like, it's happening. Here it is. Here is the bloodline finally imploding. It's taken 5 months, 4 months. I mean, ever since prior to WrestleMania. I mean,
6, I think.
Yeah,
to be honest.
it's been a while, and we finally have what we had talked about: the Usos versus Roman and Solo. It's coming up. It has to be.
Yeah,
there's no way around it. Solo seems like he's the next piece of the puzzle to really move away from Roman.
Right.
And I think that happens after, I would assume, Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. It's probably Money in the Bank. I know, I'm pretty sure I read that the next contractual event that Roman has is Money in the Bank. I could be wrong. So
no, you're right. You're right.
So if that's the case, I mean, that seems to be the most fitting situation. It is the golden goose faction right now in pro wrestling.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's so hard to see it crumble, but so good at the same time.
The story's been created almost perfectly, right?
Yeah. If you look at any faction, the ones that hang on for too long, they tend to kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. You want something where you get full story with this, and that's what we're getting. I was so confused on SmackDown the night before Night of Champions when Jimmy was like, I am the tribal chief. I'm my own tribal chief.
Yeah.
That was the first moment where I was like, what? I was like, is Jay saying that? It wasn't Jay, it was Jimmy. And I was like, no way. Like, Jimmy's finally sticking up for himself, right? And so to see that happen at Night of Champions blew my mind.
It was wild. I loved it. And so I did want to touch quickly on something that you said. So you said like faith in Sami and Kevin.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you have to, because Sami is just white hot.
Yeah.
He's just completely, if you're probably the most over superstar on the roster right
100%.
now, I would say, is Sami Zayn. And also, like, a lot of people didn't know he was a practicing Muslim. I mean, he speaks French and Arabic. So
I heard it. I
was like, oh,
whoa.
His wife is Arabic, right?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
his nationality, like, I don't know. Like, he's supposed to be French Canadian, I think.
Yeah, he is.
But
he is.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, because I mean, if you look at me, like, what do you think? I'm just a white dude. Well, I'm part Syrian. Like, so I mean, like, so it's just like, it's you can never tell. And I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool.
It was great.
And he was getting the crowd riled up, and just, he was over. The pop was huge, and just, you gotta keep Sami up there. So making them retain was awesome. But
as good as it is.
I want to hit you with some rumors real quick, and it ties in with the bloodline, right?
Okay.
So we're having this whole thing, but there's a rumor going around that there's going to be a match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania 40, like, blood feud, bro. Like, just because you have this whole thing that, oh my God, dude, could you imagine?
There is nobody, especially with a new title, to take these titles off of Roman. You hold out for The Rock. You do whatever you can, especially since it's WrestleMania 40, you hold out completely if you're the WWE and you make this fucking happen. There is nothing else. There's nothing else. There is no other main event that is even worthy than The Rock versus Roman Reigns. If you had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, Kyle, where do you see this sitting?
I give it 3.5. You know, it had great matches, but it wasn't anything like blowing me away because it's not like a main pay-per-view. You know, it's like your typical bridge pay-per-view. You know, it had some good matches and all that stuff, but I'll give it 3.5.
I think for WWE Night of Champions, I'm sitting about a 4. It was not the greatest pay-per-view I've ever seen. However, it was solid. It was the most solid Saudi card I've ever seen. And we got everything we kind of needed.
Tonight we actually had AEW Double or Nothing. So the first match of that card was Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy and Hook defeated Ethan Page and the Guns.
From what I saw, it was fine. I mean, I didn't see anything that like wowed me.
Definitely not a wow match.
Probably because it was on the opener. So
yeah, that I found that weird, man. I thought, you know, with those names, that was definitely a pay-per-view fight, a wrestling match. I definitely thought it was like a premium wrestling match that should have been on the main card, and it wasn't. It was on the prelims. There was a moment that was going around Twitter following the match, and it was a laughable moment where Jeff Hardy ended up going up to the turnbuckle. He was having like a leg issue, like his leg was hurt. He goes up to the turnbuckle and totally just like kind of collapses on the turnbuckle and then just plays like dead on the ground. And so it became like this meme all over Twitter immediately.
Damn, I'm watching it right now, and it's like, like he stumbled on that.
Yeah.
He gets hit, and then he goes to jump, and then it just like that.
He just collapses on the ground like
just anti-gravity. He just went whoop,
and down. But then he just laid down. And I don't know if it was like his acting or I don't know. And so I was like, oh shit.
Do we want to move on to the next match? There's I don't know. There's nothing noteworthy for me. Other than the Jeff Hardy turnbuckle debacle.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I love the Hardy Boys, but I think it's time for them. The next match was the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale. And Orange Cassidy won and retained his title.
Yep. It was chaos. I mean, like, we got the spots that we wanted, you know, with the Best Friends. I love the Best Friends. I've always loved the Best Friends. And then, you know, you got to give the people what they want, and they get the group hug in the middle of the match. But there's some sideline stuff that carried into this match. Like the Ricky Starks with Jay White and Juice Robinson. I love the feud. I think it's hilarious. Juice Robinson makes me laugh. And like his just like yelling, Ricky, is just I don't know. It just makes me chuckle every damn time. But I mean, yeah, this match was chaotic. It's hard. It's always hard to focus, right? Until you start dwindling the numbers. Like the one spot, it was like, I think it was like a Canadian destroyer that Dustin Rhodes gave to Brian Cage on the like the outside of the ring. That was crazy.
The fact that Dustin Rhodes can still do that is crazy.
He's so underrated in my opinion.
I agree.
You know, I know a lot of people hate on Goldust, but like as far as like in-ring ability, like the he is the natural. Like he really is. He's I enjoy watching him do stuff even to this day. The last bit, like when it was Swerve versus Orange Cassidy, was extremely exciting. Like during that whole last part of the match, I was on the edge of my seat. There was like I was anxious about some things, and it was just like the rest of it was perfect.
I thought it was kind of weird that they do a Blackjack Battle Royal for a title.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, he had to get on the card. They put a lot of people in work. They were all, you know, and it was entertaining. So
yeah, it was good. It was a good match.
The next match was Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho. Adam Cole actually defeated Chris Jericho with some help.
The beginning of the match itself was just like, what is happening? Like, can we like, what is going on right now? The entrance, the Jericho Appreciation Society entrance was fucking hilarious. Like, it just made no sense. And I'm just like,
did you see Jake Hager dancing? He was dancing when he was walking down the ring. I was like,
he
really?
loves his hat.
I know.
He's
I was
so
like,
happy about his hat. He loves that hat. But the match itself was okay. Like, it was just meaty dudes slapping meat, you know, like it was basically, you know, it was brutal. You know, the spots were interesting, but I just like the biggest thing, just can we take a moment and appreciate the theatrics that Jericho puts out?
Oh,
right.
100%.
Just love him or hate him. He is the best at what he does.
Yeah.
And he knows how to sell it and he knows how to make it entertaining. And like, he might be an asshole in real life. I don't give a shit. The dude's fucking hilarious in the ring.
They show a scene in the hallway, like 30 minutes later, and it's Jericho fucking losing his mind. This is the best thing I've ever seen Jericho do.
Yes.
Dude, he blows a fucking fireball at this like referee or something, and he goes, "I'm a wizard, bitch."
It's fucking great, bro.
Oh, it was so good. Like, where was that? Where was that the entire match? You could have done that the entire match, and there was none of that. Oh my god, dude.
Just the wizard thing was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was
fucking amazing.
I was dying.
It was amazing,
man.
dude. All right, moving on.
All right, next match, FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler defeated Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles.
We were talking about last week. Jeff Jarrett can still fucking go. He's still got it. I thought it was a great match. All technically 5 of them, they were all they were firing. They were working together. Like the spots were just the whole flow of the match was amazing. But I didn't expect anything less from FTR. They're probably my favorite tag team right now. And Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett work really well together. I think throwing in Mark Briscoe it just added to it.
Smart.
100%. Can we just get like a huge shout out for Aubrey Edwards for taking a guitar shot to the head?
Yeah,
like a fucking champ.
I was gonna say, I was like, man, how many fucking guitars do they have, dude?
Yeah,
like literally, I was like, okay, 1 was cool, right? And then it was like 2, and I think they were like 3, dude. And I was like, where are they coming from? Where are they? You know, like,
yeah. It was a good match. It was entertaining. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. It was great.
Just one quick thing I have to touch on, which me and Grind were laughing about, was JR and Sanjay Dutt's little back and forth that they had the whole match.
So
it was
good.
so freaking funny. JR just yelling at Sanjay Dutt, "Get out of here!" and "You're a stupid idiot" and stuff, and just yelling at him. I just thought it was hilarious. I had to say something. About
Oh
that
no, you could only hear one side of the conversation, which was the best part.
Yeah.
You know, you could only hear JR's side of it. So every now and then JR would just pop off, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening? Dude?
Get out of here!"
Yeah,
it's just because Sanjay was just in his face the whole time. But I love Sanjay Dutt. So, next match was Wardlow defeated Christian Cage to retain the AEW TNT title.
We're honestly like, damn it, he looked. I gotta get through this. I watched Christian come out and seeing what he was wrestling in, and it immediately looks like a dad that works out at Planet Fitness.
Totally. The turtleneck, dude, turtleneck with cutoffs, bro.
Yeah.
Who allowed him to walk out there?
And he's still using the Walkman. He's got his cassettes, and he's just fucking jamming.
Yep. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. The dude can fucking wrestle.
Yes.
And He hasn't lost a single step.
Nope.
And God, these guys, man, when they go to AEW, are put in some fucking hellacious matches.
Yes.
Like, this is I mean, if this was a
This-
WWE match, people are losing their mind. And what's interesting is in AEW, they act like it's just another chapter in the book, dude.
I mean, well, this is wrestling with the training wheels off.
Yep.
Like, you have obviously, like with the WWE, it has its, they have their set standards and the wellness of their people, and you have Tony Khan just taking a bump and going, you know what, we're gonna kill Darby Allin again for the 12th time. Like,
Right.
that's what it is.
No,
Tony
that's
Khan,
exactly what it
coked
is.
out of his mind, just like, who are we gonna kill this week?
Yeah.
Darby Allin again.
Exactly.
It just
No, that's. I mean, you're.
it was a
spot
good
on.
match. It was entertaining. Just I was, my jaw hit the floor with the swanton from the top of the ladder. Just like, I was like,
We just did not talk about the Arn Anderson finger bite.
Oh,
but,
shit. You know, at this point,
that
I
great.
was telling Bobby, I go, "There's been no blood." I go, "There's been no blood." He goes, "You're wrong."
Yeah.
He goes, "You're
It
wrong."
wasn't even real blood.
That's why I was like,
Yeah,
you know what?
true.
I was like, okay, you
But
got
it was
me, Bobby.
blood.
It was blood. It was.
blood. You could see him. He had like
blood.
a little thing in his hand, and they were like panned out, and he did this thing, and then he sucked on what's his face's thumb.
So ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. Oh my
it
God.
was
All right.
hilarious though. The next match, Tony Storm defeats Jamie Hayter to win the AEW Women's World Title.
Out of the two women's matches, this was my least favorite.
And it was still a great match.
Yeah.
It just I don't know, it lacked something, and I don't know what that something is. I don't mind the feud that's happening between Jamie Hayter and like Tony Storm and the rest of the Outcasts, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was fine. I think it's a fun feud. And I was just a little shocked that they let the title go with Jamie Hayter, because Tony Storm had it, right?
Yep.
And then Tony Storm lost it to Jamie Hayter, and then it's going back to Tony Storm. I don't know. It just seemed like anticlimactic.
It seems like they don't know what to do with it.
The next match after that was the House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews defeated the acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass.
The Acclaim and Daddy Ass, so good.
I
I
love
was
the
I was
Acclaim.
bummed when I heard they weren't on the card, because I had watched Wednesday's show, I think it was, or Friday's show. I can't remember. I don't know what day it was. I'd watched one of the AEW shows this last week, and they were on it. And the Acclaimed has slowly become my favorite thing in AEW. I think
They're so good.
they're so good.
Yep.
I also love the House of Black.
I
You
didn't.
can see this is all Malachi Black, Aleister Black. You can see this is his baby.
Yeah.
And it's fucking goated.
That match, though, the Acclaimed versus House of Black, was great. I love the Acclaimed, like the little rap beforehand where they
I
like
was just
throw in
about to
current
say,
events.
Are we gonna talk
Like
about
the
that?
like the Dom. Okay, so like
Yeah.
the dig at Buddy Matthews
Oh my
about
God.
being cucked by a guy named Dom is hilarious.
The gift that keeps
Because-
giving, like you said, dude.
Yeah, and it's just like it's so funny.
I mean, and here's the weird thing is, imagine being Buddy Matthews, man.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being Buddy Matthews.
He tried not to laugh.
Yeah.
He tried not to laugh when he was rapping. They cut to Buddy Matthews, and he was try not to laugh, because it was a funny line.
It's
I would have laughed if
it's
it was
so
me.
hard to not enjoy this Dom run
Right.
and not root for Dom. And poor Buddy Matthews, dude, has to watch this beta gangster be with his girl every 7 nights a week, pretty much, to the point where Dom is on her ass.
Yeah.
It's literally like written on her ass.
God damn.
And they are, I didn't know. Bobby had to tell me before, I think, Mania, that they weren't a thing. I had no idea.
They weren't really a
I
thing.
was so
Yeah.
caught up in the kayfabe that I believed it. And
I ruined kayfabe.
Oh
Bless
my
your
God.
heart,
the worst part is this is one of those situations where hypothetically, like, they're with each other all the time. And I know that, like, they probably have some agreement and whatnot, but you hear the stories of like Lita riding with Edge and, and you hear about, how Matt was at home kind of a thing. I'm like, well, what happens when Buddy's, gone for weeks at a time?
God
Dude,
damn it,
and
Buddy
here's
Matthews he'd snap him in half.
yeah,
Like,
but here's the thing. Dom and fucking Rhea are on top of the world on Planet 9, dude. And here's Buddy Matthews, who's like, that's mine. And he's even tweeted at like a photo I saw.
Yeah.
It was like she posted it. She's like, it said something like, he may have your name on your butt, but I get to touch it or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And it was great.
It's good.
But I start going
overall,
hypothetically. We can get into the match here in a second, but this is more important. I hypothetically started thinking, I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine if the WWE wants this to be a relationship, right? And imagine if the WWE got their wish because they're so on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Buddy, dude. I can't imagine how that must feel. And
I feel bad for Dom's fiance too.
Oh, she's not even talked about. She's not even talked about, and she was ringside for like the whole Ray situation, and she couldn't stand up. She had to sit there and watch it like she was an outcast. That's fucked up, dude.
Poor thing, man. This just in WWE's into cucking people. Weird. Weird. It was
Can't do no wrong.
Just one of those matches where everything worked.
Yeah.
It was a great match. Everything flowed. It was entertaining. Like, in every one of those people, including Daddy Ass, scissor me Daddy Ass, baby. I'm about it. They were just all going off.
Jade Cargill defeats Taya Valkyrie to retain the AEW TBS title.
This is probably I'm having a hard time. It's either my favorite match or my second favorite match.
Mm-hmm.
The match itself, like when Taya did that like sliding German suplex from like the ropes where she like slid outside, and like as she did, she was like, whoop. I thought that was great. I mean, a huge congrats to being 60-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way that they ended that with, like Smart Mark talking his stuff, and they're like, hey, come on, give us someone else. And Chris Statlander comes out. Now, I don't know if you read up on Chris Statlander at all.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, it was awesome. She was definitely missed from the roster from, since her injury. And I loved it. I was like, yes, I'm all about it. So that whole thing was great.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise. Had no idea who this was, right?
Yeah.
So I immediately went to Wikipedia and had a short run at the beginning of her career in WWE, and has done some stuff in AEW and whatnot. And it was cool that everybody else seemed to really enjoy it. It was a very short and sweet. Obviously when Jade Cargill, was like, I'm down for anywhere, anytime.
I knew someone was going to come out.
Oh yeah. It was just a matter of who, right? And
yeah,
I'm always hoping, as somebody who watches WWE, for it to be somebody from the WWE, and be like, oh my God, I know that person. But I didn't. And so it was like, oh, cool. Who is she? And so it was quick, sweet, and Chris Statlander is your new AEW TBS title or champion, I guess you could say.
The next match was MJF, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. MJF retained the AEW World Title in the Four Pillars match.
The cohesiveness of this match, like with like the submission spots and like everything else, where everyone was getting their pound of flesh against someone, was great. Just the way that the way that everything worked out, I was like, this is incredible. This is awesome.
I was wrong. I said, I thought egos were going to get in the way, and I knew MJF was going to retain. I was very, very confident in that choice. But I'll tell you this. There is not a better heel in wrestling right now than MJF.
Facts.
That guy, not only can he perform, he's talking throughout the match, and what's funny about that is I think it's kind of revolutionary. Like, you don't see that. The entire time, Sammy, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, they're quiet, and then all you hear is no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And it fucking adds color to the match.
Yes.
You hear he gets hit with like I forget what the move was, but some sort of like DDT or something, and you hear, oh fuck, right before it happens, and it's so good. It adds this element to it that I don't know if I've ever seen it before. Because
no, you don't, and it's selling, man.
It's amazing. And he comes out as the fucking demon, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Unbelievable.
He's the devil.
Yeah.
And you can't out wrestle the devil.
No. And it's so good on every level. The finish was great, in my opinion. The human triangle submission centipede thing that they were doing there was amazing.
Yeah.
Literally, I was so wrong. And I'm okay. I'm happy to admit that I was wrong, because everybody's stock went up in this. I'm now a fan of Sammy, whereas before I didn't think he had much character to him. I was wrong. And I really, really, really am the biggest MJF fucking mark there is, dude. I was like, whoa, this guy's my guy. I was like, this is my guy. And I'm laughing the entire time, dude, because not only is he a heel, but he's bringing a comedic aspect to it.
Yeah.
Where you don't hate the heel, where it's so used to, a traditional heel where you don't like them. This is a heel that I'm falling in love with, because the dude has a pickle sponsorship, I can't fucking make this shit up, dude.
Right.
Just amazing.
It was a great match.
Definitely.
That was my favorite match of the night.
The last match, Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta defeats the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Hangman Page.
Did anyone else get annoyed as fuck by how long they played fucking Wild Thing? The band was playing the whole time.
Yeah, were they playing Wild Thing?
They played Wild Thing.
Okay. They were
like 20 minutes.
Yes. I don't think they understood that there was like a cutoff point. Like this like they don't watch pro wrestling.
They're just like, I guess we're playing Wild Thing for 20 minutes, guys. And then everyone's like, can someone send Nick and Matt to go super kick this guy in the face to get them to stop playing this fucking song?
And I was just thinking to myself, like, they don't understand that it was an intro.
They're just playing it.
Just kept playing it for like 20 minutes of the match.
I was so annoyed. I was like, can you guys, like, I swear to God, if I...
And then I thought it was normal. I thought that that was going to be the match. They were just going to play this song the entire time. Because Anarchy in the Arena, you got a band playing. You got a dude with he had a leaf blower. He was hitting people over the head with a leaf blower. You got Claudio in the back of a truck. You got him all over doing the weirdest shit. And then you got this band who nobody knows. Nobody knows the band. And they're
like,
just,
I swear, it's like when you go to like a bar and then someone puts the same song on repeat.
Yep.
I swear to God, if I have to listen to What's New Pussycat one more time, I'm gonna fucking snap.
Dude, that's what it was though.
Going,
I thought it was normal.
The song's done, guys, and then it starts back up. And I'm like, fuck this.
That was AEW at its finest.
I'm laugh crying right now for all of you that are listening.
that was AEW at its finest, though. God. Every time I least expect it, they do these things where it's like, huh? Like, dude, I mean, here's the thing. There was a leaf blower in the match. Where did that come from? You're in an arena, and then there was a super kick who lit Jon Moxley's face on fire, which was like, what in the from an Air Jordan?
Thumbtacks.
There was
thumbtacks.
He made him eat thumbtacks.
Oh my God!
He made him eat thumbtacks.
And then the irony of Kenny Omega, who's Canadian,
Yeah.
wearing
Captain
Captain America
America
trunks, and then does
wearing
like
the
Captain
shield.
America shield
Unbelievable.
bashing with a trash can
Unbelievable,
lid.
dude.
Oh, I loved it. I
Oh.
loved every second.
The moment that really got me was the very end with Konosuke Takashita. Is that right?
Inosuke Takeshita.
Okay.
You butchered it a little bit, but it's okay.
Taka-
Inosuke Takeshita. Yeah.
Oh.
Inosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, comes out. He's masked man, right? And
Yeah.
does some damage to, I believe, Kenny Omega.
Mhm.
And rips his mask off and gets the big pop. Never seen this guy in my life. I'm assuming he's from New Japan.
Yep.
Okay. The most non-intimidating person I've ever seen. Like look-wise.
He's done a lot of work. So I mean, he's done a lot of matches in AEW.
Yeah.
He's been in and out. He's helped out. I think I can't remember. I'm pretty sure like he's like tagged with Kenny Omega and like helped him out. And I think that was like the weird thing because it was like a heel turn, right?
Mhm.
So like his behavior with that was very heel turn.
Well,
It's
they said that he joined the BCC at the end of it, is what they said. I don't know.
Well, they were saying that
If that's
Don
really a thing,
Callis and
but-
him joined the BCC, right? Is that
Yeah.
the deal?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
need to correct myself, and it's my fault because I was watching Demon Slayer earlier. But it is Konosuke Takeshita, not Inosuke
Okay.
Takeshita. Yes, Konosuke Takeshita. Give Konosuke a chance. He's great. He's really good.
Will do, man. Will do. AEW Double or Nothing. Where do you rate that?
I give that one. I probably give it a 4.
Cool.
I give it a 4. I definitely had a little bit more. I enjoyed the matches a bit more.
I'm sitting at a 3. I'd like to see some stuff that's not as gimmicky. I'd like to see, the thing is, I will tell you this: their wrestling is on par, but there was a lot of different style matches here, and I mean, to the point where, I was kind of lost. I'd like to see maybe half the size of the card too. That's the other thing. The card was really, really long. And at some points it felt like, maybe it was too long. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with that. With that being said, man, that wraps up episode 2 of the lower mid card, and we'll see you next time. Later.